Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us to learn more about the rehabilitation of the Brookville Road Bridge number M-0083. My name is Lori Main, and I will be your host this evening. Before we get started, I would like to just go over a few Zoom controls in case there are some of us that are unfamiliar. All microphones have been muted and cameras turned off. To reduce the bandwidth of tonight's meeting, please do not turn on your video camera. Following tonight's presentation, there will be a question and answer session if time allows. Please wait until the presentation ends to raise your hand, or you can type your question into the chat box throughout tonight's presentation. To raise your hand following the presentation, please click on the reactions icon at the bottom of your screen and then click Raise Hand. If you called into tonight's meeting via telephone, press *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute yourself. And now I would like to introduce Barry Fuss, who heads up the Bridge program.
Thank you, Lori. Hello, my name is Barry Fuss. I manage the Montgomery County Bridge program. Thank you for attending our meeting tonight presented by the Montgomery County Department of Transportation. This virtual meeting is being recorded, and we will provide a link where you can watch and listen to the recorded presentation. We will try our best to answer all your questions. However, if we run out of time, you can still submit your questions to our project manager, Greg Wong, and he will respond to your questions. This meeting is to explain our county project to rehabilitate Brookville Road Bridge M-0083 over CSX Railroad. This project will involve the following: reconstruction of the concrete deck, repairs to the steel frame and bridge bearings, repairs to the concrete abutments, wing walls, and slope protection. Lori Main is our master of ceremony and technical expert for this virtual software. She will be taking care of the virtual chat box and reading questions during the question and answer session. Greg Wong of the Department of Transportation is the project manager of this bridge replacement task. Here to explain the specifics of the project is Greg Wong, Montgomery County project manager for this project.
Hey, Greg, it was, you had it in presentation before, and now we're seeing your menu.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, I have some technical issues just resolved. And please bear with me, and I will be on the meeting right away. Okay. Can everybody see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Barry and Lori. And good evening. I'm Greg Huang, the project manager with Montgomery County Department of Transportation. Tonight, I will be sharing with you information about the proposed rehabilitation of the bridge on Brookville Road over CSX Railroad. Now, I will start the presentation. First, I would like to go over the purpose of tonight's meeting. Begins with to introduce the project team, then to present the existing bridge and conditions, present the project scope and the property impacts, present the maintenance of traffic during construction, and present the current project cost estimates, funding, and schedule. And finally, to obtain your input, which is the most important to the project team, as your input allows the project team to understand the concerns of the community. Your input will be evaluated and considered during the final design. The project team consists of Montgomery County Department of Transportation, Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Montgomery County Planning Department, and the Jacobs Engineering Group Incorporation. Montgomery County Department of Transportation, as the bridge owner, is responsible for design and construction management, funding acquisition, right-of-way and easement acquisition, public outreach, and coordination with stakeholders and agencies. Montgomery County Planning Department is providing recommendations for master plan implementation. Jacobs is the consultant performing engineering services to develop the contract documents, including design plans, specifications, and the construction cost estimates, obtain all the required environmental permits and CSXT's permit, and provide engineering consultation and shop joint review during bidding and construction. The listed members of the project team or their representatives are with us tonight to answer your question after the presentation. This map presents the location of the project site. This yellow line is I-495 Fairway. This is Georgia Avenue. This is Seminary Road. This is East-West Highway. This is Brookville Road. And this is CSXT Railroad. The bridge is located on Brookville Road over CSXT Railroad at this location. The 2017 approved Greater Littensville Sector Plan classifies Brookville Road from Littensville Place to Linden Lane as a two-lane minor arterial road with an 80 feet minimum right-of-way. The 2018 approved Montgomery County Bicycle Master Plan recommends a shared use path on the south side of Brookville Road. The roadway is posted at the 25 miles per hour speed limit. For the traffic counts performed by Jacobs on Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021 at the bridge, the average daily traffic is approximately 11,500 vehicles per day, including 2,366 heavy vehicles in the morning and afternoon rush hours. The traffic count also recorded 26 pedestrians and 1 bicyclist in the morning rush hours, and 12 pedestrians and 2 bicyclists in the afternoon rush hours. Now, we will have a brief review of the existing Brookville Road Bridge to be rehabilitated. The existing bridge is a structure reconstructed in 1976 and is a 123 feet 6 inch span, 3-span steel rigid frame with concrete deck structure. This structure carries a 50 feet clear roadway width with 2 19 feet 6 inches travel length and 1 11-foot center left-hand length, plus 1 7-foot sidewalk and 1 foot concrete parapet on both sides for a total out-to-out structural width of 66 feet. And it's supported by concrete abutments and pier pedestals. These photos gives you a looking north bird's eye view of the existing Brookville Road Bridge and approaches between Talbot Avenue and Warren Street. The most recent bridge inspections reveal the existing condition of the bridge. This slide and the following 3 slides depict the bridge deteriorations. 1. Concrete deck. The deterioration of the concrete deck includes minor edge spoiling along deck joint, fair patch on surface, and the torn compression joint seal with lost adhesions and depressed. The January 2022 corrosion and chloride testing revealed high chloride within top 2 inches of the deck. 2. Steel frames and bearings. The photos in this slide show that pack rust, minor to moderate corrosions, delaminations, and local distortion are in evidence at girders, pier, floor beams, and bearings. An ultrasonic examination was conducted in 2019, which revealed non-discernible cracking at the girder pin and hanger connection, and the pinned pier bearing assembly. 3. Concrete abutment. These 4 photos show that delamination, spoiling, and minor honeycombing and cracking are in evidence at the bearing pedestals of both concrete abutments. The abutment back wall have a spore along the top. 4. Concrete slope protection. The concrete slope protection has cracks, spores, and delamination at the top of the slope protection with slightly sliding and local undermining. 5. Approach low-way asphalt pavement. The approach low-way asphalt pavement has moderate to severe cracking. This slide informs you the proposed scope of bridge rehabilitation. The concrete deck will be reconstructed with a new concrete deck that accommodate the Montgomery County Complete Street Design Guides and the Montgomery County Bicycle Master Plans, and also meet the American Association of State Highways and the Transportation Highways and the Street Design requirements. The new bridge deck will carry a 41-foot clear lowway width with 2 11-foot travel length, 2 6-foot shoulders, and 1 7-foot stripe medium, plus 1 9-foot sidewalk on the north side, 1 14-feet side shared use path on the south side, and 1 foot 2 1/4 inches concrete parapet on both sides for a total out-to-out structural width of 66 feet 4.5 inches. The existing steel frames and the bearings and the concrete abutments and the slope protections will be repaired. Approach lowway work between Talbot Avenue and the Warren Street will be implemented to provide transition to tie to the existing lowway. The work includes construction of asphalt new pavement or resurfacing for the approach lowways, new concrete curb and gutter on both sides, new asphalt approach sharing use paths on the south side, and the new W-beam or concrete barriers on both sides, However, sidewalk connection on the north side of both approach will not be provided under this project. This photo rendering gives you a looking north bird's eye view of the Brookville Road Bridge and approaches after the bridge rehabilitation is completed. Now let's talk about property impacts. The proposed bridge deck and approach roadway work on Brookville Road is all within the county's right-of-way. The brown area indicates the impact area due to approach roadway work. The blue area indicates the impacted area underneath the bridge due to the repair of steel frame, concrete abutments, and the slope protection. The purple area indicates the two construction access through CXXT right-of-way and some adjacent property to those work area beneath the bridge. Our property acquisition section will communicate with CXXT and the property owners to work out the needed temporary construction easement. The bridge construction will be performed in 2 phases with a total duration of 15 months to 18 months. The north half of the bridge will be constructed first, and then the south half after. The 2 sketches show you that two-way 2-lane will be maintained for vehicular traffic during each phase of the construction. A 10-foot temporary travel lanes plus 1-foot buffer will be provided for each direction of the traffic. Bicyclists will utilize the travel lanes on the bridge, while pedestrians will utilize the separated sidewalk on the bridge. The project is currently at the preliminary design stage, which is 30% level of completion. This project is a federal aid bridge project. That the federal funds cover 80% of the project cost, and the Montgomery County share the remaining 20%. Currently, $800,000 is estimated for engineering cost, which has been funded. A preliminary estimate of $1.8 million for construction and construction management cost has not been funded yet. A standalone capital improvement project will be created during the final design stage to fund the construction and construction management after detailed cost estimates are developed. According to the current project schedule, the design is expected to be completed in the fall of 2025, and the construction is expected to start in the spring of 2026 and end in the summer of 2027. Please note that the estimated project cost and schedule are subject to change as the design progresses until it is complete. The next steps of the project is to proceed with the final design based on comments we received from the listed permitting agencies and feedback from the community. Permitting agencies include Maryland State Highway Administration, Montgomery County Planning Department, Montgomery County Department of Transportation, Montgomery County Department of Permitting Services, and the CSX Transportation. The project team welcomes any comments you might give tonight. After tonight, you will have 1 month through October 7th to provide the project team with your comments. You may send me your comments by using the online comment form at the provided web address or by email to me at greg.huang@montgomerycountymd.gov. After October 7th, the project team will evaluate the received public comments. Your comments will be taken into consideration as the project team proceeds with the final design. You may also contact me by telephones or email at any time to ask questions or request for information, I will be happy to help. Tomorrow, we will upload tonight's meeting recording and the PowerPoint slides onto the Montgomery County DOT's project webpage at the provided web address, which is also given on the newsletter that you have received. This concludes our presentation tonight. Thank you very much for your attention. Now we will move into the question and answer session. The project team would be glad to listen to your concerns and comments and answer your questions. I'm turning the meeting to Ms. Lori Mann. She will helping us to run the Q&A session. Lori.
Thank you, Greg. We have a couple of questions in the chat. William Leroy would like to know, are there long lead items impacting the schedule, such as steel components?
Would you repeat that question again? I'm sorry.
Are there long lead items impacting the schedule, such as steel components?
No, we don't expect that at all. This is a bridge rehabilitation project, and once it's completed, everything will be done. Will that answer the question?
Next question, will there be construction vehicle management plan, a construction vehicle management plan that coordinates with Woodland and Purple Line construction vehicles?
We do not expect it will be any conflict due to the maintenance of the traffic between these two projects, as the project will maintain two-lane, two-way traffic all the time during the construction of the bridge rehabilitation.
Okay. Why is the bike lane on the north side of the bridge when the bike trail will be on the south?
We will not provide any bike lane on the north. I don't see anywhere have a bike lane on the north now or in the future for a short in a short time. So according to the master plan, we provide a shared use path, which is the bikeway on the south side. And once that's completed, we will not do anything else. So that's what we are proposing to accommodate the county's bicycle master plan.
Okay. Suresh with the property acquisition section would like to know how many properties will be impacted by the project.
Currently, we expect that there is only one property will be impacted, which is at the southeast corner of the project. Could be two properties, but they could be owned by the same property owner. But when the project continues to develop, this might be slightly changed. During the final design, we will be more accurate to tell how many property will be impacted by this project. By this point, we expect that there will be two properties at the southeast corner of the bridge.
Okay, will flagging operations cease after hours?
I would like to ask Stella, our work zone manager, to answer this question. Stella, could you please unmute yourself?
Okay, what is the question, please?
It's in the chat. He wants to know if flagging operations will cease after hours. Mr. Leroy, would you like to unmute? Let me get you unmuted here.
if I get the question correctly, that is if flagging operation will be provided after work hours? No,
Right.
no. You know,
Yeah,
there's no way they can provide a flagging operation after work hours. So long
Yeah,
as
the question
we have
centered around the phasing between phases 1 and 2. It appears that there's only enough space for one lane of traffic to flow.
yeah, at least a
confirm that.
minimum, at least a minimum of 10-foot lane will be provided
Right,
during work hours and after work hours. But I
Right.
don't, there's no way the flaggers will be provided after work hours, since
so how does that happen in the morning and late at night when there's only one lane available and that there is a county bus depot? There are events that occur, say at other businesses after hours, like getting to and from Littonsville. Since there's only one lane, how does the traffic manage itself when the flagging operation is not there?
to the best of my knowledge, it's not one lane that is provided, it's a two-lane,
Two.
In
two-way
each
traffic.
phase?
Sorry?
2 lanes in each phase?
Yeah, two lanes.
So
Right.
phase
That is
1, there will be 2
one
lanes?
lane each direction.
So phase 1 will be 2 lanes.
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can you put that diagram back up? I'd like to.
Yeah, I can do that. Give me a second.
I do know that there are several like full-size semi-tractor trailers that pass over this bridge. So having, traffic two-way during off hours would be very helpful to minimize any vehicle conflict. And will there be pedestrian access in each phase as well?
Greg, can you please put up the
Yeah.
drawing?
Yes, I would be glad to answer.
Bike lane,
because
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, in
you will
phase
be
2?
able to see that there will be 2 lanes.
In
Mhm.
phase 1.
Yeah, in phase 1 and 2 lanes in phase 2.
Phase 2 in all phases.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is a 2-lane traffic, 2-lane, 2-way traffic, and even after hours.
Okay.
And the bicycle will at the same time utilize the travel lane.
Right. So phase 1, you'll demolish that side, the south side.
Right. Phase 1 we will demolish north side and the construction north side,
Mhm.
while maintaining the traffic on the south side.
I see.
And when you get into phase 2, it will be reversed, that the
Reverse,
traffic
yeah.
will be maintained on the north side, while the construction is
On the south side.
on the south side.
Great. Could you cycle through the aerial rendering? I
Do you
think it
mean
was
this
the
one?
rendering of the,
Rendering? Yes.
yeah, the rendering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which side is the bike lane?
This side will be the share use path.
I
Bike
see.
lane.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah. I noticed that it looks on the north side, is that extending further to the north? Or is that in the same place as it is now?
You mean,
That
The-
section right there. Yeah, is that
yeah?
grass?
Yeah,
and-
this grass will be almost the same as the existing.
Right, so
We are not planning to provide sidewalk connections on this
No.
side.
but there is a
Because
sidewalk.
it is yeah, but the sidewalk will be provided on bridge. That will be available when a sidewalk project in the future is
Right.
implemented to complete the sidewalk along Brookville Road.
Right, yeah, there's a master plan to include Brookville Road with like a
Right,
more of a boulevard.
right. But since there is not enough space at this moment here, we
Right.
do not want to provide a sidewalk connection at this moment.
Great, all right, appreciate it. Thank you,
You're
that's all.
welcome.
I- 'Cause- 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 'cause-
Okay, that's all the questions that I had in the chat. Would anybody else like to ask a question? All right, well, I guess since there are no other questions, this meeting is over. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And if you have any additional questions in the days to come, you may email them to Greg Huang, whose email address is at the top of the chat, and it's also provided in the presentation on your screen. There you are. So that's Greg right here, Greg Huang at montgomerycountymd.gov. And thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.